Hey everybody!
Welcome.
So we're doing something kind of different. As
Yes.
you have probably noticed, this is up on a weekend when we don't usually put stuff up.
Right, except for that one time when we messed up the uploads.
Right.
That first time. Will never happen again.
As
Ever.
you've probably double noticed, this is not a video game. So
Pretty close, though. Close at all.
what we're doing is every month, me and Tyler,
I'm Tyler.
one
He's
of us gives us a prompt, and then we both write a fantasy story based around that prompt.
Yes.
We got the idea.
High fantasy.
Yeah, we got the idea from the Fantasy Fiction Podcast.
Great, by the way.
Yeah, which is
Especially if you're into blue comedy.
yeah, it's by Josh and Dom from
Yeah.
Continue Show, which
Josh
is
Henderson.
also great.
And Dominic Machete.
Yeah. So, yeah, we write these fantasy stories every month, and we thought we would record them and put them up. We just started doing it this year, so we've, at the time we're recording this, we've finished, like, 2 of them.
Well, you finished 3.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna, what we're gonna do, basically, we're gonna say what the prompt is, and then we're gonna read the stories, and then, we'll, like, have a little discussion. If, we have questions about the other one's story, we'll ask, and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
We've
yeah.
already read these first ones to each other before, so we probably won't have as many questions or
Right,
responses as before.
right,
But I like them. I
yeah.
like
And in future episodes, we'll,
this is the right one.
we won't have read them before. Like, we read these to each other and recorded them once already, but there was a problem with the recording, so we couldn't use it. But in the future, all other stories that we read, it'll be the first time the other person has heard them.
Right, like when we read our second ones to each other later for whenever the next episode of this comes out.
Right. So, without
Probably
further...
monthly?
Yeah, probably about monthly. There won't be, like, a set schedule, because we'll just record them pretty much whenever we finish, but our
Probably near
guidelines...
the end of the month, knowing me.
Yeah, our guidelines is we do at least one a month. If we both happen to finish early, then we'll just move on to the next prompt. But,
Right.
Yeah,
You have to finish at least one a month.
right. So, yeah, without further ado, our prompt for this month, Tyler came up with.
Yes, it was Ancient Civilization.
And since Tyler is the one who gave the prompt, he will be the one reading first.
Right, we alternate prompts by stories. You'll have to wait till next episode to find out what the next one is. Unless you don't. Okay, so I guess I'll just dive right in then.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright. The name of this story is Realm of the Forgotten. Deep within the macabre woods of Drenwaltz, 2 powerful adventurers fight their way through the vicious mutated frogmen that inhabit it.
I love frogmen.
Yeah, I know you do. Damn it, Elzia, shouted the man to the woman. I knew this wouldn't be as easy as you said. He blocked an incoming frogman's club with his massive greatsword, and then kicked his bladed boot into the frogman's stomach, killing him. Relax around, spoke Elzia as she launched an ice spear through 3 frogmen. These guys aren't anything to worry about. Run cleave through a group of frogmen. Yeah, I know. The real trouble comes once we get underground, right? Right, said Elzia with a smile, before firing a chain lightning spell, finishing the rest of the horrid mutants.
Rest in peace. Never forget.
No. Frogman 2012. Yeah, 2 years ago. Finally, said Ron, as he sealed his greatsword into his armor. Ron was a blade centurion, a powerful warrior with a signature armor made of massive amounts of weaponry magically sealed into a wearable shape.
It's so groovy.
Yeah, I like him. Geez, that sword is ridiculous, said Elzia, strapping her mage's staff to her back, overcompensating for something. Ron kissed her forehead. Haha, I think we both know that's not the case. Elzia blushed and turned away, heading deeper into the woods. Come on, we don't have time to waste. After a few more hours of travel, they reached a gigantic tree with a cave leading deep underground. We found it. They've been missing for hundreds of years. And you and me found it. Elzia shouted excitedly, hugging Ron before sprinting into the cave. Listen, Elzia, started Ron, but Elzia was already in too deep to hear him. Ron darted in after her. When he caught up with her, he grabbed the back of her tunic and yanked her back just before 5 poison-tipped arrows thudded into the wall in front of her, right where her head would have been. They didn't know the arrows were poisoned since they'd already been embedded into the cave wall, but it seems like 5 arrows to the head would have been enough to kill someone anyway. Listen, said Ron. Right? I know you're excited, but be more cautious. I mean, what makes you think they're here anyway? This isn't the first time we've sought them out, and caves don't really seem like the place they'd be. You know their blood runs through my veins. They're here. I can feel it. Besides, she said as she knocked on the wall, these caves are made mostly of the roots of the giant trees. And I think that's the perfect fit. Alright. I wasn't suggesting we turn back or anything. Just let me take the lead so you don't hurt yourself. They proceeded further into the cave with Elzia using a light spell to guide them. Ron nonchalantly triggered many traps which broke helplessly against his near-unbreakable weapon armor. After what seemed like days of travel, a hole opened in the ceiling and out dropped a large golem made of diamonds. Okay, said Ron, this is going to take something made for breaking. He formed a giant axe twice the size of his own body and charged at the golem, which reared back and headbutted clean through the axe, before throwing a massive punch at Ron that caught him directly in the entire body, sending him flying back. Looks like this'll take something a little less mundane, said Elzia, as she grabbed her staff and launched a Hammer of Force spell at the diamond beast. The spell deflected harmlessly off the seemingly invincible titan and smashed into the cave wall. Fine, said Ron as he spat up blood. Let's just go straight for our ultimate technique. He held up his fist, and it started to glow with a soft green light, and Elzia began charging a spell. The golem charged directly at them, but just before reaching around, his armor exploded into thousands of weapons, and Elzia fired her spell at them, making them glow with massive, explosive magic energy, and shot flying into the golem. It shattered the first few, but ultimately the spell broke the golem down into tiny chunks, which they collected to sell later. It's made of diamonds.
Oh yeah, you can't just pass that up.
Yeah, I mean, for real. Why would you? Basically D&D. Every time you kill something, you have to spend like an hour searching the bodies.
Yeah, or skinning them or deboning them, depending on the group.
Right. I don't know. This thing had like diamond bones and diamond skin. Make weapons out of that, not bones. After a few hours of picking up Ron's weapons to reform his armor, they set off again. There's a lot. They have to do it individually.
So when
it's not ideal.
When the armor when he turned it all into weapons to do the ultimate technique, was he just like standing there naked, or
he probably wears clothes underneath it. I mean,
oh okay.
You wouldn't want to wear like armor like on your bare skin, especially when it's like made out of swords.
That's true. Man, I better be really hot in that armor.
Yeah, it is. No, but seriously, it's probably not all that comfortable.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Eventually, they reached an exit that opened into a massive underground city. Before they could move further, a tall, thin man with long white hair stepped out, pointing a rapier at them. What business do you humans have in the land of the elves? He spoke.
Oh, twist.
Yeah. A pretty generic fantasy race, so there you go. Shouldn't be ancient, forgotten people. Elzia kneeled down. Please, sir, we've come to ask that the elves return to the surface world. Because of the interbreeding with humans, there are no pure elves left out there. I'm a 1/4 elf, which is the pure surface elf left. I have to make sure they don't fade out of his existence entirely before I can wed this human. When we first arrived on the surface, mortal man was too weak and trembled before our power. You've done well defeating the golem, but to ensure mortals are strong enough for us to live among them, the man must face me in combat. He immediately charged at Ron and thrust his rapier at him, which immediately shattered on his armor. Ron backhanded him, and the elf fell unconscious for several minutes. When he woke, he said, "Okay, you're strong enough now. The elves shall return to the surface and make Grinwald the place of legends once more. Virtually nothing changed. Finn.
All right.
Yeah. So there we go.
So,
It's
my
a story about elves, I think.
my story is called The High King.
Yes.
Long, long ago, in what is now the Desert of Jask, there was a kingdom. Its name is gone now. Centuries have come and gone since it passed human lips. All that is remembered of this once great realm is the name of its last ruler, High King Dunrick, a name that has lived on through the ages in the most unlikely of places, a child's nursery rhyme. He's an old man and he's mostly just bone, and it's been a long time since he sat on his throne. He hates little children and he eats them up whole. His fingers are daggers and his eyes are like coal. So do all your chores like your mom and dad said, or old man Dunrick will come kill you dead.
Yeah, and you said that was sort of inspired by the chopper.
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. That is a creepy nursery rhyme.
Isn't it like pretty normal up until the end?
Yeah, it's just like talking about a kid getting ready for bed, and then like the last line is like, and here comes the chopper to chop off your head.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Oops, I went down too far.
I like that. Well, the rest of your story I like a lot, but that's still probably my favorite part.
Yeah,
the
I'm glad that I actually like made it work.
Yeah, I can pull that off.
The origin of the rhyme is unknown. How it has survived when all other knowledge of Dunrick's ancient kingdom has faded remains a mystery. However, perhaps it is a sign, a testament of sorts, that the evil things men do may live on for eons, still lingering even after the man himself is gone. Then again, perhaps it is a sign that High King Dunrick is not gone at all. Dunrick lived in a time of enlightenment. His kingdom prospered, a peace reigned, and technology was advancing alongside magic at an incredible rate. His castle was a testament to this. Rising up from the center of the ancient structure, Dunrick had commissioned the construction of an enormous clock tower. It was a truly glorious sight to behold. Each clock face was a massive work of stained glass, depicting some great triumph of the nation, bloody conquests and peaceful negotiations alike.
And, stopping the moon from crashing into the planet. Right?
Well, obviously. Nothing like had ever come before, and the world has yet to see its equal. Dunrick, however, would not be satisfied. He had fought long and hard to bring about the current peace. Now he felt too old to enjoy it. He had become frail and sickly over the years, and longed for the days of his youth. He had been strong, a warrior prince, leading charges into battle for glory and honor. Now he lay confined to a bed, unable to travel his domain and see the prosperity his battles had brought. And who was enjoying such prosperity? The citizens, peasants, his sniveling sons and grandsons, who had never had to go to war as he had? He spat on them. They did not deserve the honor of living under his glorious rule, so he began to form a plan. Shortly after... computer's messing up. Shortly after construction had begun on the Grand Clock Tower, Dunrick called upon Malbus Throke, a secretive and unsavory man who, it was said, knew ways of blending clockwork machines with dark and accursed magic.
Clockwork sorcerer.
Throke, Dunrick wheezed, I have grown old, and soon I will die. My bountiful kingdom will pass into the hands of my son, Wulfric. He is a vain, stupid boy. He does not deserve he does not deserve to rule so vast and powerful an empire.
God, he's such a dick.
Yeah, he's not a very nice guy.
Not the, two best people to be, using as poster boys for this civilization.
Malbus bowed his head slightly. Do not speak of such things, your majesty. Surely your blessed reign will last forever. The words were snide and mocking, for Malbus had no love of Dunrick, or indeed any of the monarchy. Dunrick, however, did not notice the sarcasm.
So, are these guys just like humans, or are they different?
They're just people.
Okay. I kind of imagined that they look like that one guy from Star Trek: The Next Generation with their face ridges.
Oh, Worf?
Yeah.
A Klingon?
Yeah. Is he a Klingon?
Yeah, he's a Klingon.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought they were all bad guys.
Nah, Worf's the good one.
The good one. He's the,
They're like the bad guys of, the original series, but by Next Generation, there's, a treaty with them.
Oh.
Or something like that.
So, Worf's kind of like that one guy. Drizzt.
Yeah.
Drizzt.
Yeah, totally.
Oh. But yeah, you guys are Klingons.
Well, Malbus looks, weird and gross. He always wears, a cloak, so you don't really notice.
Is weird and gross like a Klingon?
No. Like a Drizzt. Um,
Half Klingon, half Dark Elf.
yes, the old man replied, it will. And you will be the man responsible. I have heard tell of you, Malbus Throke. By all accounts, you are a skilled inventor, as well as a devious and wicked man. The people say you know black magics. They say you curse children and make dead men rise to do your bidding. Is this true? Malbus looked the High King in the eye now, and he saw something there, some steely determination he hadn't been expecting. He knew that look. He had seen it in the mirror countless times. Yes, he said softly. Good, Dunrick nodded. Then I was right to summon you. What I require, Malbus Throke, is immortality. Malbus thought for a long time. What you ask is difficult, he spoke at last. It has been attempted many times, yet never achieved, at least not without a steep cost. I will pay any cost, Dunrick replied. Any. Very well, Malbus said. I believe I may be able to build something, a sort of immortality machine, but it must be fueled by sacrifice, do you understand? What manner of sacrifice? You must give up that which you love the most, Malbus replied. The High King laughed hoarsely. The only thing I love is my kingdom. That is why I must do this. I must be the one to rule it for all time, or it will fall. I know this. Malbus raised an eyebrow. What of your family? Dunrick scoffed. My children are fools and vagabonds. My wife has not been a disappointment for bearing me such worthless descendants. I care nothing for any of them. You would see them sacrificed, then? Dunrick nodded. Kill them. If it will power this immortality machine, kill them all. Very well, it will be done. The machine will take time, though, time and space. Such a device will be large and the construction long. Use the clock tower, Dunrick said after a moment's thought. It has just begun construction. It will be large enough to house your machine, will it not?
Plus, it'll be kind of badass.
Oh, yeah, it'll
Thematically
be
appropriate.
super awesome. Indeed, Malbus replied, his mind already racing with plans and schematics. He knew this would be his greatest undertaking. It was some time before the clock tower and the dark device inside had finished construction. Finally the day arrived, and High King Dunrick called together his entire family, his wife, his 7 children, and his 23 grandchildren, all assembled in his throne room. Dunrick sat on the throne for the first time in what seemed to him to be years, having been too weak for too long to leave his bedchamber. Why have you gathered us, father, and why in the throne room? You're ill, you should be in bed, Prince Wulfric said, a tone of genuine worry in his voice. I am High King, Dunrick replied icily. I will sit my throne if I so wish. That is my right.
Fuck you, kid.
Yeah. Of
How
course.
dare you talk to me with respect and concern.
Of course, father, but with your condition. I'm not dead yet, no matter how much you wish otherwise, snapped the king. And after today, I will never have to worry about death again. His family looked around at each other in confusion. Wulfric began, Father, what do you... That was when it began. The throne crackled with green lightning, which arced forward, a bolt striking each and every member of Dunrick's family. Their screams were nearly deafening, but Dunrick paid them no heed. Already he began to feel power flow through the throne and into him. He could feel the weight of age and disease slicing moment. The windows of the palace shattered, and he could feel the ground rumble beneath him, but he experienced these things as though they were a dream. The only thing real to him was the intense energy filling every fiber of his being, and then suddenly it was over.
Well, at least it seems like it's not the, generic problem of immortality, where it's like, I forgot to want to be eternally young and, not sick and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Well, at least so far.
It regenerates him right now. Who's to say about the future?
Maybe. We'll see. Maybe.
Slowly he stood and was amazed to find that the motion was painless. Gone were his various aches, acquired as he grew older. He felt as spry as he had as a boy. He surveyed the room. It was in shambles. Windows were shattered, tapestries were torn and singed. Laid out on the floor before him were the corpses of the royal family, some burned down to the bone. He paid them little heed as he crossed the room, heading through the castle to a parapet balcony from which he could see much of the capital city. What he saw when he looked out was naught but destruction. The city was leveled, great fissures rent the earth, plumes of smoke rose in the sky, and corpses lined the streets as far as the eye could see. I warned you, spoke the voice of Malbus. Dunrick whirled at the sound, seeing the warlock standing in the balcony's doorway. Warned me? You told me nothing of this chaos, raged the High King. I told you, to achieve immortality you must sacrifice that which you love the most. Your precious kingdom is nothing but dust in the wind now. Not even its name will live on, Malbus smirked. You told me my family would be enough, Dunrick roared, and lunged at Malbus. The man dodged nimbly out of the way. I merely asked if you would sacrifice them. I never told you that would be enough, you stupid man, Malbus laughed. Dunrick howled with rage, and to his surprise, a searing bolt of green lightning erupted from his hand, nearly striking his foe. It appeared the machine had granted him more than just eternal life. Focusing, he fired another blast at the Dark Mage, but missed again. If my kingdom is gone, then I will simply reforge it, he shrieked. Malbus laughed again, sidestepping another volley of lightning. Never, he crowed. What is done can never be undone. Your kingdom is gone, now and forever. Then so shall it be for all of the nations, snarled Dunrick, blasts of green energy erupting from his palms with every word, though none found their mark. I will destroy every one, everything. A world that I do not rule does not deserve to exist. And so the High King continued to pursue his nemesis, the evil wizard using unnatural speed and forbidden spells to elude and taunt his attacker, until finally the force of their battle was too great for the already damaged castle to bear. The great citadel, once the crown jewel of a legendary empire, finally crumbled, trapping its mad ruler inside. Over the centuries, the castle, along with the rest of the kingdom, was forgotten, and the cursed land turned from a flourishing country to a barren, burning desert. Just as Malbus foretold, the legends of the great empire gradually faded from history, until even the name was lost forever. All that remains now is the name Dunrick, a whispered threat, a name that all children come to fear. The end.
Yay.
Alright.
Okay. And last time we, asked a question.
Right.
Should we just answer if we remember what the question was we asked and come up with a new one, or...
Yeah. I remember the first time we did this, I asked you, how you become a Blade Centurion.
Yeah, you asked me about Blade Centurions a bit, and that it's kind of like the Fighters Guild in, Morrowind or Oblivion or whatever, where you just sort of join up and then, do whatever, but you don't, get the armor till you're, a higher tier, and you have to do, actual missions and stuff. So you could just join up and, be a Blade Centurion, but you wouldn't have anything cool.
Right.
Maybe, a piece of paper. It says, you are totally a Blade Centurion.
Yeah. Novice Blade Centurion.
Yeah.
Who's, haven't done anything for it, but you can impress ladies at the bar.
Yeah. Unless they're in the know.
Right. Blade Centurion yeses.
Oh. I don't remember what I asked you about.
You asked me if Dunrick was dead now. If the castle collapsed and killed him. And no, he's still alive.
Is he still under the castle, or...?
Maybe. I don't know.
It depends on if you want to write another story about him.
Yeah. He's there until I decide that he actually wasn't there anymore. No, I don't think he is. I think he found a way out, and he's been biding his time.
But it's first TM you get,
yeah,
Brock, unless you're playing any game other than the originals.
Exactly.
Because Bide sucks and no one will ever use it. The only person that would ever use it is Metapod, and you can't teach it to Metapod.
Yeah, Dunrick is just chilling out with his 6 Metapods, just waiting.
Soon, I'll be butter-free.
Yes.
Oh, do you want to say the name of your continent? Or save it for later.
Yeah, it didn't come up in this one, but the name of both of our settings, we have we each have a continent, and all of our stories will be set in that same place. So he mentioned that his is Grenwald's.
Yes.
Mine is Chiron. So that's where all of my stories will take place.
Ah. Oh yeah. By the way, I never mentioned my characters' last names, even though I totally gave them last names.
Oh yeah, okay. What are they?
Round's last name is just Blood Knight, and Elzia is Bright Moon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
The elf guy just doesn't have a name. He's elf guy.
Hi, Elf Dunrick. Yeah. We figured it out.
There we go. That's how he got free. He did rebuild his fucking empire.
He turned into an elf, and then went to a different continent.
That's how you do it. I don't know, do you have any more questions?
No, I think that settles it.
Okay. I can only assume that the sorcerer guy's still alive too.
Oh yeah, the sorcerer guy is like not even human. He's still around.
Right. Well,
He's
I mean-
still around doing stuff.
Plus, you can fucking build immortality machines.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah,
and he did say that they like worked before, but it totally sucked.
yeah, yeah, dude. He didn't even like. He didn't need to take nearly as long as he did to build this one either. Like, he's got that down to like a science.
Probably
He could
could
have
have
built
pulled
it in like a week.
Probably could have built it so it only took the family. He was like, "Oh, I'll also have it blow up the city."
Yeah, Malbus, I decided like immediately after writing the story, was also immortal and doing stuff in this setting because I just really liked his name and I didn't
Yeah.
want to waste the name on like a one-shot character. So he'll be back.
Plus, I mean, you always got to stick with your first evil sorcerer guy.
Yeah, I need to figure out exactly what he looks like now that I said he looks all weird.
Klingon Dark Elf. We already said.
So yeah, there's our first stories.
We're calling this Whale Tales.
Yeah, we're Laser Whales Unlimited. These are fantasy tales, so whale tales.
Yeah. Whale Tales.
All right. So
Normally not anything I would get behind, but I love it. I love it.
I'm happy with it. So thanks for listening, and tune in next time.
Yeah. Bye.